What does it mean when a fitness instructor or a trainer says, engage your core? Be sure to engage your core. I'm Deborah Atkinson, I'm the founder of Flipping 50, and I'm gonna give you the answer to that because it is oh so important. And my tribe in our Flipping 50 community often will hear me say, never, 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 never do you wanna suck your belly button to your spine, because that actually will weaken the very core muscles that truly, if you want to work on your core, you are supposed to be stimulating. So let's talk about core exercise and about getting effective results and how you quote unquote engage your core. So first of all, I'm going to show you and teach you right here. So I'd love for you to do this with me. I'm sitting in my dining room chair. You're sitting on my table. What I'm going to do is change the camera angle so that you're just looking at my core, literally. And I would love for you to do this with me. So here we go. Okay, so I want you to take your hands, splay your fingers, and what I want you to feel is, so this is the top of my hips right here. This is the top of my pelvis, and I want you to find that point, and then find the bottom of your ribs. So you can kind of follow your hand along here, find this, and when you put your hands right here so that my thumb is on the bottom of my ribs and my fingers, my other little pinky at least, is on my hips or my pelvis. I want to feel both points. I want you to take a deep breath in, and then on the exhale, I want you to blow out like you're blowing through a straw. So you're gonna purse your lips, keep blowing out. All the way out. Keep going. And when you're just about empty, what I want you to feel is, can you feel that? That is engaging your core, all right? Go ahead and take a deep breath in. So I want you to notice a couple other things here. So when I take a deep breath in, you didn't see me raise up here. You see this expand. You want to be expanding down here in your belly, your diaphragm, putting the air in your lungs, not leveling up here. So important detail. I'm going to have you do it again. So take a deep breath in, just expanding. And then do you see how that's expanded, almost like there's two balloons in my lungs here, and then you're gonna exhale. Blowing through a straw actually helps. Keep blowing, keep blowing. You keep blowing, and what you should be noticing is something called your diaphragm is actually already initiating and trying to help you push that air back out. Keep going until you get empty. And when you do, what you're doing is activating a muscle group that rolls around your waist, just like this waistband does. So it wraps around your waist. It serves like your personal girdle, or it doesn't because you're not engaging. Let's do it one more time. Take a deep breath in. Expand here, but not here. Exhale. Blowing through the straw. Keep blowing. Keep exhaling. And now I want you to try to hold on to the muscles that are tense right now, but breathe it back in. So this tension that helped you force that air out is not at all related to your lungs. So you can breathe deeply. You don't have to hold your breath in order to do that core exercise. Now, I'm also going to suggest that if you're sucking in that navel, you're trying to hollow yourself out, tuck it in, hollow it out, all those things that we so long, for decades, have actually, as fitness instructors, personal trainers even, have been telling people, I'm guilty because we didn't know any better until I knew better, right? So, but for the last 15 to 20 years, it's been about something other than that. What we're doing here is bracing. You are bracing your core. So if you'll do something for me, stand up. If you can do that, stand right up and just put your hands right here, and you don't have to go anywhere. We're not going to really exert anything. But I want you, instead of standing on 2 feet, I want you to stand on one leg and then move that leg out to the side. So you can see I didn't do that very well. I was wiggling. move it out to the side, keep it off the ground, and then move it forward, move it back and take it behind you. And you're gonna feel that your core has to be tighter. It's bracing. You're not hollowing. So think about that for a minute. So on the floor, in a core exercise that I don't want to mention, because I don't want you to do that, an instructor will often say, suck your belly button to the floor and do this, right? When you are on one leg and you are moving one foot forward off the ground and the other one moving it then out to the side while you're standing on one leg, could you even think about drawing your navel to your spine, like sucking it in? So it's almost impossible, and you don't, because intuitively your body wants you to do the most efficient, the most effective thing. Now, if you imagine something else, I often ask people to imagine, what if someone threw a ball at you? So just imagine that I've got my hands around a ball and I'm throwing it at you. That reaction is like, I gotta brace, right? If you put your hands right here, cough. When you cough or sneeze, we brace, right? We probably sneeze and brace for other reasons right now, but that's a whole nother video. So that triggering the tension, it doesn't change. You don't suck it in and try to get smaller, because if you do that, we can't activate the right muscles. So when someone says engage, what they're after is giving you that feeling, like exhale, getting it all the way out. But now I have that feeling. The purpose of doing that exercise is just so you can identify, that's what that feels like. When my transversus abdominus, and we don't even talk about that one in the aerobics room or the group fitness studio, I just dated myself. We don't talk about it. We talked about the rectus abdominis, that's the 6-pack, or we'd settle for a 4-pack. And it's the obliques along the side waist. They flex us and extend us, but they also laterally flex and rotate us. We talk about those quite a bit. We talk about the erector spinae muscle groups that run parallel to the spine like a zipper up and down the sides. But very few people will ever talk to you about the TVA. If you've done Pilates, you may have heard that. It's the one place in decades of training outside of degrees and advanced degrees and the research that I've done that I've actually heard anybody else talking about it. So you want to focus on being able to lay that foundation. So if this is your spine, we have muscles that are here. That's your foundation, and we want to get that TVA fired around here, because that's what helps support your spine so much more. And on the other side, externally, you have those erector spinae muscle groups. Bracing activities, not hollowing and sucking that navel to your spine, actually help you get stronger, get the kind of strength that protects your lower back and that actually makes you stronger when you're lifting. And here's another super simple way. So I'm gonna, pardon my reach, I don't have a dumbbell right beside me because I happen to be sitting at the kitchen table when I realized that there's such a need for this. But imagine that this was a weight. It was not just a water bottle, but it actually was a weight. And if I were holding this, if I am here, there's a little bit of contraction that happens. But if it was heavier and I put it out here, like imagine holding a baby out here that, you know, is stinky or wiggly, or it's out here and you're trying to entertain them. This is making your core work harder. Now the temptation, if you don't have a strong core, you're arching your back and it doesn't feel very good. But if you're standing upright and you really have something arm's length away, a long lever, and you get it out here, now your core has to work. This is in fact a standing core exercise that I will often do, reaching forward and back for clients who can't get down and up off the floor. It's a great standing exercise. You can also take it out here and we can rotate, but we're not taking the arms, we want to take the core. So it's like you have a flashlight in your belly button and you're gonna follow this weight. And when you can't follow anymore with your belly button, then it's not your business to be there. But these kinds of exercises will help you brace. And if what you're after with your core exercise is a flat belly, then the way to get there is by bracing. That's what you want, as opposed to hollowing in. And imagine when you're doing crunches and sit-ups, it's impossible to hollow. And really, when you're doing crunches and sit-ups, which can be detrimental to your lower back and the lumbar spine, even if you don't feel like it is, you're only so many forward flexions away from your injury, right? So think about what you do when you come up in a crunch. You're taking all of these muscles and they have to come up together, and they tend to come up and bulge because they have to go somewhere. And so you're not actually training your core to be flat and to work the way that it does. So all of those things like leveraging your body to pull open a door or push it closed in the wind, to push a heavy stroller full of kids, or to push a lawnmower, or push the snowblower or a shovel, all of those things require bracing. And you don't think about it, you are just doing it. So when we're exercise and you're doing a plank, super popular, right? It's probably one of the best exercises because it does cause you to brace. Nothing else. You can't hollow out and brace in a plank. And yet it's like the #1 exercise, one of the most popular. So just be sure when you're bracing, you're doing core, you also start to move your legs, touch them out to the side, lift them up very slightly, tap your knees, don't move your hips, move your arm out to the side while you're in that plank, because that's what your body does. You're stabilizing your core while you bend over to pick something up, or you reach across the table, or you hand someone a tray that's heavy at your meal. All of those things require bracing. So I hope that makes sense. And now you know, take a deep breath in, exhale out like you're blowing through a straw. And you have fired your TVA, your Transversus Abdominus. In addition to now knowing you've got the rectus abdominis, which runs up and down, you've got the inner and outer obliques on the side of your waist, and you've got the erector spinae muscle group that runs like a zipper right next to your spine. There you have it. That's your core flip for today. Let me know if that was helpful. I'll see you in the